like Sonko there, color
the MPs
coordinated
expressed concern.
And I love Haters hat. Had to be mentioned. Time now for Who Owns Kenya. And this week on Who Owns Kenya, we feature Mombasa-based multi-billionaire Mohammed Jaffer, who is the founder of the MJ Group, which is the region's largest bulk handling company. While some may never have heard of Jaffa, many products imported into Kenya are processed and cleared by the MJ Group's Grain Bulk Handlers Limited, which processes and clears imported cereals such as maize and wheat destined for the local market. So just who is Mohammed Jaffer and how did he amass his wealth? Well, Jaffa is perhaps one of the country's most reclusive billionaires, shying away from the public limelight. The 65-year-old started his empire in the 1970s when he acquired a 20,000 shilling loan from a friend to start his business, and that was at the age of 28. His first business was a timber storage yard that was set up next to his family's inland container depot. Now, from his timber yard, a young Jaffa soon ventured into the production of pallets, which are needed by cargo companies to lift and hold products in place, making it easier to move goods. The company's first taste of success was an export contract to Kuwait. It was while at the port that a young Jaffa came up with the idea of setting up and starting a grain handling and packaging facility within the port. Now, at that time, grain handlers would transport grain to bagging plants that were located far from the port and deliver the grain to the port daily. Now, Jaffa set out to start his own bagging plant within the port of Mombasa, a laughable idea at the time, with other grain handlers terming the concept crazy and ridiculous. Success, however, would not come easy for Jaffa. It took 11 years to get a lease to set up Grain Bulk Handlers Limited at the port of Mombasa. 11 years. Now, for those 11 years, Jaffa would apply for the lease and get turned down. Apply again, get turned down yet again. Finally, he obtained the lease in 1992. There was also the challenge of obtaining land at the port of Mombasa for this facility, which was a capital-intensive venture in itself. Now, with both a lease and secured land, Jaffa finally set out to finance the construction of the grain bulk handling facility that was estimated at 2.7 billion shillings. The funds were not readily available from local commercial banks, whose interest rates were far too high at the time. So it would take Jaffa 20 years to realize his dream when finally, in the late 1990s, he got a loan from the World Bank's private lending arm, the International Finance Corporation, IFC. Now, Grain Bulk Handlers Limited finally opened its doors and started processing and packaging grain at the port of Mombasa in the year 2000, marking the culmination of a 20-year dream for Mohammed Jaffer, who had come up with the idea in 1980. Grain Bulk Handlers Limited is today valued at 12 billion Kenya shillings and has an annual turnover of 1 billion shillings. But Jaffa did not stop there. He acquired Mackenzie Maritime East Africa Limited under the MJ Group. Mackenzie Maritime is the group's clearing and forwarding arm, valued at over 1 billion Kenya shillings. In 2005, the MJ Group also acquired Mbaraki Bulk Terminal. That was at the time under the Export Processing Zone, EPZ, with an annual output of 767 million shillings. The Mbaraki Bulk Terminal deals in oil products and byproducts, including bitumen, which is a raw material that's used for road construction, heavy fuel oil, and kerosene as well. Now, under the Mbaraki Bulk Terminal, the MJ Group also owns One Petroleum Limited, which is the oil marketing and petroleum training arm of the group. And there's more. The MJ Group also owns the Africa Gas and Oil Company Limited, which is currently constructing an LPG gas terminal valued at over 10.75 billion Kenya shillings at the port of Mombasa. Under the MJ Group, Mohammed Jaffer has ventured into the American market as well, operating an LPG terminal at the port of Lake Charles in Louisiana. The company has also obtained the approval of its American partner to build a grain handling terminal in Louisiana. The details of the deal, however, remain sketchy and confidential. Mohammed Jaffer has not been without controversy. In 2008, a parliamentary agriculture committee report linked Grain Bulk Handlers Limited to the 2007 maize scam. You remember that, with sharp focus being laid on his connection to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Now, though the company was later cleared from involvement in the alleged scam, the damage was done. So we're asking, just how much is Mohammed Jaffer worth? Listed by Forbes Africa as one of Africa's unknown dollar millionaires, the net worth of Mohammed Jaffer remains a mystery, with his ventures also linked to local real estate and to properties in the Middle East and in the United States of America as well. But conservative estimates put Mohammed Jaffer's net worth at well over 15 billion Kenya shillings. Time now to take a look at our quote of the week. And it reads, it's on the way, and there we have it. Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm.